Okay, welcome everybody to the second weekly gold and silver report of the year. Great to see lots of familiar faces back. Okay, so today guys, we are going to be covering and reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets and analysing the week's performance. So we're going to look during this live session, end of week summary for gold, silver, oil and commodity currencies. We will look at the top trades of the week. We'll cover live market analysis, commentary and technical analysis. We'll look at the week ahead and of course we will look at questions and answers. So if you've got any questions, make it nice and interactive. Please do put those in the chat. Feel free to make this very interactive so we can, we'll be covering lots of charts, looking at gold, silver, the commodity currencies, and anything else that is of interest. Okay, so there's been quite a lot of news coming out today. Over the course of this week, there's been several bits of news which we'll actually cover. We'll have a look at some news as well. So let's quickly, actually, before I go into that, I'm just going to give you, for those of you who are new to these webinars, just a little bit of background on myself and Nick, who run the Gold and Silver Club. I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialise in teaching people how to make money from trading the biggest financial markets in the world, so Forex, gold, silver and oil. I've trained hundreds of individuals to become independent traders, successfully manage their own investment portfolios. I'm responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders, regularly contribute to a number of financial publications and speak at numerous trading seminars and workshops. And this is Nick Kalsi, also joining me, and Nick is the co-founder of the Gold and Silver Club. Nick is a professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. He began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. Prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, Nick spent over 5 years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top-tier hedge funds and investment banks. It's through his first-hand relationships with some of the world's most successful traders he's discovered the formula, mindset and tools that give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. He also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications and appears frequently on financial television. That's us just on Dukascopy Swiss TV, where we've appeared several times, just giving our analysis on the commodities markets. And just a few recent publications we've done. So it's Global Banking and Finance Review, International Life, and the South African. So that's a little bit of background on us, guys, for those of you who are new to our webinars. If you are new, welcome, and plenty to show you today. Okay, so let's start it off. Let's just gauge what the price of gold is at the moment. So we're going to have a look. If anybody wants to put what the price of gold is at the moment, you're very welcome to. Okay, so spot price of gold at the moment. I'm sure a lot of you probably got this on your screen. So I'm going to give you the price. So the current price is $1,668 per ounce. So we are up from the start of the week. We'll do we'll have a look at some live markets very shortly. The spot price at the moment, $1,668 per ounce. Priced in dollars, okay. So let's have a look at the top trades of the week. For those of you who are on our webinar last Friday, we did a webinar in the morning just before non-farm payroll. And in fact, a lot of the live markets we were looking at, the levels we talked about, we had some very interesting moves from. So our top trades of last week, I think you should remember last week we were around about in the morning. We just bounced off actually the 1628 level on gold, the key Fibonacci level. Now, this was a point of entry. Obviously, we don't do any live trading on these webinars. We don't give any recommendations at all. We're very simply just talking through live markets. I'm showing you, using the Gold and Silver Club strategies, some positions that we got in. So we got in at 1628. This is just, again, just skimming the surface here. We use a number of other indicators before we enter positions. But this is a position that we got into last Friday, just before non-farm payroll. And we had a nice risk on the trade, 40-point risk, $4 risk or 40-point risk if you're trading the actual real markets where you are having some effect on it. And we had trading at one lot, $400 risk. And the reward just over that afternoon was really nice. We just came up to 16.55. Previous level of some congestion earlier, well, for pretty much most of the Christmas period. 16.55 was representing a level of support, which then started to represent a level of resistance. So it was a great take profit area to come out of. So 270-point profit just from non-farm payroll. So a 6-to-1 risk to reward on gold. Trading at one lot, $2,700 worth of profit, which is great. You know, it's why we like to trade announcements. You can get some exceptionally great trades. The volatility really kicked in. You can see where the price actually fell, came all the way down, and then we fell in the morning just pre-non-farm payroll, and then we had a complete reversal once non-farm payroll news had come out. Okay, similar situation on New Zealand US dollar. We actually, with pinpoint accuracy, we bounced off a price action level. Very good risk to reward on the trade, so 20-point risk, looking at one lot, so $200 risk. We caught 99 points on the trade, just under 100 points for one lot, so $990 if you're trading in lots. And so it's a nice 5-to-1 risk to reward on New Zealand US dollar. Again, that was on non-farm payroll, one of the markets we covered last Friday. And also pound dollar, which we looked at last Friday on the webinar. We came down as well. We bounced off a key price action level and a pivot point. This price was 1.6010. We came down to that level. Nice risk on the trade again, circa 20 points at one lot, $200 risk. And we rallied just in that afternoon, 65 points. The trade went on to rally a lot more, but in terms of an actual day trade, just getting out the same day, if you like, we made 65 pips on that. So $20-point risk, $200 risk at one lot for 65 pips profit. So $650 profit for a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So those are just covering some key trades that we took on non-farm payroll. That's not all the trades we took. We took some additional trades on the Asia Pacific markets, but this is the key trades that we took for the commodity currencies. Okay, and moving into this week, what nice trade setups have we had? We had a good trade set up yesterday, actually, on pound dollar. We again came down, we retested quite a key level of support. We had a good candlestick set up on that level, very clear bounce. So we got into that trade at 1.5995 and then exited yesterday back up to this level of resistance at around 1.6110. So nice trade just in the afternoon, just from the day really from yesterday through to the previous day's lows, and we traded that through to yesterday evening. So we had a nice position there, so 115 points profit on that trade from a 20-point risk for a 5-to-1 risk to reward. And looking at other trade setups, we also had Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So this was actually yesterday in the morning. This triggered. We came down. We tested a key price action level again. You can see there, Dragonfly Doji, very key bounce off this level of support here. Let me just here we go. You can see the price has come down. Had a very clear hammer forming as well. Nice bounce, key level of support and price action. 1.2505 was the entry, and we just came out of that by the end of the afternoon. We'd already reached our take profit, our initial take profit anyway, which was just 40 points. So 15-point risk to make 40 points, just over a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So a nice quick day trade on Australian New Zealand dollar. Okay, so those are some of the top trades, including last week's non-farm payroll and this week's trade, some of the top trades that we've had this week, and we're certainly seeing, we're in some positions at the moment, we're certainly seeing some more nice setups today as well, which we're going to have a look at. So, okay, so chart time frame, we're being asked by Hovo Caro. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. The charts that you see in front of you, these are on 4-hour time frames, okay? That's not the only time frame that we're using to enter positions, but it's a very useful time frame because you can go out far enough to actually look at previous support and resistance and also key price action levels. Okay, and on that, what we shall do is we're going to go across and have a look at some live market analysis. Okay, perfect. Okay, Hovo Caro, yeah, just can you, in terms of your question there regarding the charts, let me know a chart you want to have a look at, and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so let's, which covers gold, silver, and commodity currencies, but we're just going to switch it across now, guys, and we are going to look at some live markets now. Okay, is that just going to take a few seconds, then we should be ready. Okay, fantastic. And just before we do so, actually, let's just very quickly, we're just going to have a look at some of the news which has just come out today. Just take you across to our Reuters news platform. This is regarding gold, guys. So if you want a bit of extra analysis on gold, so we did have a big move yesterday. It's actually the biggest move we've had on gold since January, since the beginning of January. So gold prices, I mean, just this morning they've come down again. Gold prices slipped below $1,670 an ounce on Friday as stock market weaknesses and a firmer tone to the dollar prompted some buyers to cash in on gains after the metal's biggest one-day rise this year. So gold jumped more than 1%, rising back above the 200-day moving average, a key chart level, after the European Central Bank gave no indication after a policy meeting it would cut rates, prompting a rally in the euro. Yes, some of our traders on that trade this morning. So the metal struggled to maintain those gains. However, as the dollar steadied against the single currency on Friday, the European stock markets fell. Okay, so there's a little bit of extra information on the news, but as a lot of you know who are regulars to our webinars, I mean, the reason we're able to trade a lot of the news announcements, I know a lot of traders don't like trading the news, but we do. If you've got news feeds which come through real time, it makes a lot of difference to your trading. You literally get the news as pretty much as quick as you can get it. You're not going to get it the same speed that you get it if you're looking at other websites on the internet. This is obviously quite a superior service that you get with something like Thomson Reuters newsfeed. But yes, that's a little bit of information on today's news there. And let's move across and let me just make sure I can see all the questions, if you've got any questions coming through. Okay, I think I should be able to see your questions there. Okay, great. So what we're looking at the moment, okay, first thing we want to cast our eye to at the moment, in fact, let's have a look at, we had pound dollar has put in an interesting move just this morning, just last night. So we were looking at pound dollar. We had a, you can see here where we've actually had a big rally. So yeah, so this is the position that we entered into yesterday. You can see the pound dollar actually ended up rallying all the way back, and we've rallied all the way up to this 1.61754 price action level. You can see with great accuracy how well the markets have just sold off from that level here. So you can see here that we've put in like a inverse hammer. On the smaller time frame, it was more evident that we were at that time last night that we were starting. You can see a doji there. So a few of us were up actually last night trading this. It's round about midnight, just after midnight, that this started to actually form and produce, trading opportunity to get into the trade. As you can see there on pound dollar, we've actually, the risk to reward was pretty good there. I mean, we've not spiked up much at all. We've only come up about 10 points or so from the fib level, actually up to about seven points. And we've moved down nice today, so we sold off quite well. We're at the moment we're at 66 points to the downside on that in terms of profit on a sell short for pound dollar. So nice trade opportunity on pound dollar. It's still coming down at the moment, so we'll be managing that trade today. But yeah, that's a good example of a nice trade setup, nice price action move we've had on pound dollar. Let's have a look at gold. So gold, you can see yesterday. Here is the trade that we were referring to here. You can see where we bounced off key level 1626 level. We've put in like a bit of a double bottom there. You can see where the price came down just before non-farm payroll, and then we've had a complete reversal, and in fact we've rallied from there. Yesterday we came up, we retested this 1674 level, which you can see here. We broke above it, and now we're just seeing some profit taking. We're coming back down. Yeah, so at the moment, gold's, unless you're in a position at the moment, potentially, in terms of actual setups, what we'd be... Actually, I'll tell you what, I won't go into too much detail on setup. That's not something that we can give any recommendations on at all. So let me just move on to... Let's have a look at the moving averages quickly. And we're going to see what is going on with gold currently. Okay, so if we look at... Yeah, so gold is... There we go. Gold's back above the 200-day moving average. It's still below some other key moving averages we've got here. 50-day moving average, you can see it's still below there. But that is quite important that we've got back above the 200-day moving average. You can see on gold at the moment, we are still sort of in this downtrend on the daily time frame. So we do need to really break out of that in order to have a bit of a reversal, but we'll see whether we get that. As we've discussed on other webinars, seasonality for January. January, generally speaking, is a bullish month in terms of seasonality. If you go back to the last 30 years on gold, what typically happens over January, just due to a lot of new money coming into the market, still the wedding season in Asia Pacific. We are seeing a lot of buying still by central banks. Typically, this month is a bullish month. Obviously, last week when the Federal Reserve they announced that they may be putting an end to quantitative easing in 2013. That caused a big move to the downside on gold, but you can see that has been supported at 1630 last week, and since putting in that low of 1630, we have in fact rallied about the highs of yesterday, about 500 points from that low. Take a look at silver. Silver as well. So silver is still, let's just get on the daily time frame. Let's have a look what's going on with silver. Yeah, silver in fact just got above the 200-day moving average. Yeah, silver will be very interesting to see if we are going to break through this downtrend as well. We didn't break down as low as some were expecting. We did get support around about that 29 level last week. You can see they were good in quite a strong hammer. Dragonfly doji there in the price. This was just on after non-farm payroll. The price has reversed back above the 200-day moving average. Price action wise, we broke through price action level yesterday, but yeah, you still would ideally want further confirmation before entering into positions on longer term positions on silver. Okay, let's bring it back to what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at some of the commodity currencies now. And guys, if there are some questions coming through, I will look at those. I can't see all your questions at the moment as they're coming through. I can see the chat, but I can't see some of the specific questions. So once I'm back on the main presentation, I'll go through any questions. If I'm not answering those at the moment, it's just because I'm not seeing them. Okay, so we're just going to take that back to look at the commodity currencies. Bear with me. Okay, so USD Canadian dollar, we had a bit of a sell-off yesterday. USD Canadian dollar has been pretty choppy all week. It's provided some quick opportunities. Just you can see where we've had just this level of resistance pretty much all week, around about just above that 0.987959 fib. We've had pretty much sell short opportunities off that level, and we've been moving really between that and this level of support all week. We broke through it yesterday. You can see where we came down yesterday, and now we've actually found support this morning of 0.9824 price action level. You can see the price has come down. We've had a little bit of support consolidation. We've seen a bit of with nothing too major, about 10 points above that level at the moment, off a bounce this morning, but we are getting supported. We've been fairly range bound on USD CAD all week. This provided a lot of day trading opportunities, to be honest. Most of those stuck around 30 points. Each of those trades we were able to just take quick trades to the downside and to the upside. USD CAD has been fairly predictable. Australian Euro provided certainly some shorting opportunities, although they haven't really followed through. You can see yesterday after gold and silver actually they rallied in the afternoon that the same thing, those of you, again, who've been on our previous webinars will know Australian US dollar and New Zealand US dollar, they are correlated to gold, being that they are one of the biggest exporters of this, of gold. They're heavily correlated. So if you're going to see gold and silver rally, you're often going to see Australian USD rally and also New Zealand USD rally, which we saw yesterday. Now, gold and silver are selling off today. New Zealand US dollar is selling off, and as is Australian US dollar. But what's more interesting is these prices, they're at resistance levels. Okay, so whereas gold and silver, then they're not really at resistance levels. They're still at kind of fairly. They're still on their sort of downward correction. Although we may come out of that soon in January. But so the risk to reward is essentially it's better selling short on the commodity currencies than it is on gold and silver. Okay, so if we have a look at Australian US dollar, you can see here we spiked up a little bit. In the Asian sessions, it spiked up to around nothing major, about 10 points or so. And if you're selling short on that, I mean, it's come down a little bit overnight into the morning. So it's still to be determined what's going to happen with Australian US dollar, whether we're going to see the price continue to sell off and come back down to retest these levels here, or whether we're going to start and get a breakout to the upside. New Zealand US dollar. Again, didn't quite make it up to previous level of resistance, the highs of December. We came just shy of a price action level. We have started to sell off with New Zealand US dollar there as well, to the tune of around 65 points. It's just coming down at the moment. So we'll be looking to see whether we're going to come all the way back down and test these levels, supportive levels again, or whether we're going to have a breakout, either. Unlikely it would happen today, but we'll be following that quite closely next week. But certainly USD Canadian dollar has just bounced off a price action level this morning, so we'll be watching that one fairly closely. Okay, so we're going to just turn this across to, let's just quickly look at the Asia Pacific market. Bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so here is Australian New Zealand dollar. You can see actually which we're talking about just on, I believe it was Wednesday. What was yesterday? Yesterday even. So let's just check I'm in the right time frame. Actually, yeah, it was. We bounced off this level of support. Let me just go back into. This is a level that it's one of our top trades of the week. Actually, this is, you can see here that we bounced off 1.2055. Pretty strong accuracy there. You can see where we bounced off that on the 9th of January as well. Bounced off it again on just yesterday, the 10th of January. We've actually come all the way up now, and we've had a really nice move on New Zealand, Australia. In New dollar there, you can see we've managed to get all the way to the next fib level. We're still breaking through actually at the moment, so it's moved outside of that sideways pattern that we've been having on Australian New Zealand dollar for the last pretty much since the last week or so in January. So a nice price action move yesterday, Australian New Zealand dollar. Let's have a quick look at Australian CAD. Yeah, we did have a nice move in that in December. You can see at the moment we've had a sell-off. Nothing too much going on Australian USD CAD Australian CAD at the moment. So let's have a look very quickly. We just need to turn our attention to silver as well. Cover silver. See what's going on with silver. Okay, so silver, you can see silver has been very choppy. It's been very volatile of late. Some of the moves that we've had. Especially non-farm payroll, we came down, we tested the 29, just around 29 level. We have had a rally since that level. Currently at the moment, silver is, it's just got back above the 200-day moving average. It's still in a downtrend at the moment, but this could reverse. As I said, January is a bullish month. You can see there on Friday's non-farm payroll where we had a very strong a bullish candlestick there. We've had several doji candlesticks. You can see there a lot of indecision in the silver market at the moment. In fact, if you look going back in December on the daily time frame, all these dojis are showing there's a lot of indecision in the silver market at the moment. It hasn't gone down as low as a lot of speculators were anticipating that it could get a retest of the 26 level, but at the moment there is still some indecision in this market. Probably not helped by the Federal Reserve announcement last week, but we know that silver can put in some spectacular moves. Certainly last year in January, February, we went down from the 26 low, and we rallied all the way back up to over the mid-30s. So we had a spectacular run. So we'll see. We're following silver very closely at the moment as well, particularly as January, and January's generally speaking a bullish month in terms of seasonality for silver. Okay, so guys, I'm going to have a look at we're going to look at news moving forward. So any key news announcements next week to keep an eye on. We'll also be having a look at your questions as well. Okay, let's have a look. New Zealand. Okay, there's a few questions come in. Let's have a look. Hova Carr. Okay, let's have a look. Hova Carr, 15 pips spread on Australian, New Zealand dollar. Okay, good. Okay, let's bring it back to the main presentation, guys, and we can cover some questions. Okay, perfect. Actually, bear with me 1 second, guys. We're just going to have a look. We're just going to bring up the chart for oil, guys. So if you just bear with me. In fact, to tell you what, we'll come back to that in 1 second. We'll come back to the main presentation, but we might be able to bring that up again. There's a few questions I've just seen just talking about crude oil, but we will have a look at that just from HFOT there. Oh, okay, so the question is, as oil has rallied above key resistance levels, can we expect gold rise? Have they have a strong correlation? We certainly saw this, this is HFOT, question from HFOT. We certainly saw this during the summer, that we had a big breakout from crude oil, and then this later followed with a rally and a breakout in silver, and then we had a breakout in gold. They're not always correlated because different news affects the crude oil market to what affects the gold market. But in terms of previous trade setups that there have been last year, when you have seen a big move to the upside in crude oil, typically this has been followed by correlation with gold and silver. So it is certainly it can be a good indicator, HFOT, just to answer your question there. And some of the news to look at in the week ahead, guys. So the key news announcements to look at in the week ahead. So, and we just, any other questions, guys, do fire them through now, and we'll cover those just before we go to the end, and we'll see if we can bring up the oil chart for you. Okay. So key news announcements to look at the week ahead. Next Tuesday, 15th of January, 7 o'clock in the morning, we've got German CPI. So the German Consumer Price Index measures the changes in price of goods and services purchased by consumers. So a higher than expected rate is bullish for the euro, while a lower than expected rate is bearish for the euro. So that's important because euro is correlated, or has been correlated, to gold price. And Germany is a key country within the eurozone, so we could see some volatility in gold price on Tuesday. Next Thursday, 12:30, we've got the Australian employment rate for those of you who also trade the commodity currencies, Australian US dollar. Certainly keep a strong eye on that. Higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for Australian US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the Australian US dollar. So this is important again because Australian US dollar is correlated to the gold price. Next Thursday at 9:45 p.m. we have the New Zealand dollar CPI, so that will measure the change in price of goods and services from the perspective of the consumer. That's a key way to measure the changes in purchase trends and inflation. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the New Zealand dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. So again, for the New Zealand dollar, the CPI will affect any of your trades, any of those who are also trading the New Zealand dollar. And other markets, so Friday we've got, next Friday we have the Chinese GDP. That's important again. Higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Now this is important because China plays a pivotal role in global demand of gold, silver and oil. So I know certainly from previous news announcements this can have cause a lot of volatility for gold and silver. Then next Friday, 9:30 a.m., we've got the GBP retail sales, obviously important for pound dollar and cable. Well, pound dollar, also known as cable. Higher than expected rate is bullish for the pound, while a lower than expected rate is bearish for the pound. And next Friday at 1:30 p.m. We've got another announcement which will affect the USD Canadian dollar, CAD manufacturing sales, and a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the USD CAD, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the USD CAD. So that's important because the Canadian dollar is correlated to gold price, and of course we trade USD CAD, and it's one of the commodity currencies. Okay, right. Mohanan, let's have a look. Right, we're getting quite a few questions on crude oil, so I will have a look and bring this up for you. Just bear with me because my co-partner here, Nick, is actually handling one of our workshops at the moment in Dubai, so I'm just going to need to do a few of these things manually myself. So if I can, I'm going to see if I can do this for you guys. Just bear with me. Okay, so just going to switch my screen across to crude oil. Okay, here we go. So again, some of the questions have disappeared. Let me just have a look if we can bring these up, and I'll answer those for you. Okay, so looking at crude oil, yes, we have actually had a bit of a sell-off today. In fact, you can see this 1.1223 level. God, this has been an important level. We've had so many trades off this key level. You can see yesterday we've come up to this key level 1112.23. We have again sold off. Come down. So I see what you mean in terms of we had a little bit of a rally on crude oil. We're getting the same situation that we've had on really the commodity currencies this morning, gold and silver. We're getting a bit of a sell-off. You can see actually how tight you could have kept the risk on a sell short on pound dollar there. So it's sold off to about over 230 points to the downside at the moment. But this, if you haven't got that level, it's an important level to have for crude oil, 1112.23. It's a level which has previously provided several profit-taking levels, I would imagine. You can see profit-taking is occurring at that level, but no doubt sell shorts orders are going in at that level as well. In terms of our predictions for crude oil, I mean, we're not really here to give predictions on what we believe will happen with the price. We just want to be following what the market is giving us. So whatever the market is going to provide in accordance with our strategies, we will certainly take advantage of. So we're not here to be analysts, guys. We're here to be traders and to make sure that we make as much money as possible from what the markets are giving us. Okay. Okay, perfect. Right, so before we run out of time, guys, I'm going to just bring it back, and we're just going to bring it back to the presentation, but hopefully that answers some of your questions that some of you had there on crude oil. Okay, so for those of you actually who want to, there's quite a few questions coming in today. Great questions, guys. Great to keep it nice and interactive there, and it's good to see a lot of new faces on today's call as well as some familiar faces. So yeah, great to see lots of you on the call. In terms of if you'd like to learn specifically, specifics of strategies in more detail, we can only really cover the surface on these calls. We're not of course, we don't give any sort of recommendations whilst on these live webinars. And if you would like to learn more and learn our 5 core strategies that we trade at the Gold and Silver Club, you can very simply do that by going to our application form, and that is www.thegoldandsilverclub.com/course form. Okay, so in order to do that, you can just go to our website, thegoldandsilverclub.com, click on Learn to Trade, and if you click on Learn to Trade, that will actually take you to an application form. On that application form, you fill that out, and then a member of our office will be in touch. And our coaching programs also include exclusive access to our live trading room. So we've actually got our live trading room, one of our live trading rooms in this afternoon, and this gives you real access to be able to trade live alongside myself and Nick Kalsi, alongside our Gold and Silver Club traders. It's a fantastic way to really increase your learnings massively. If you'd like to know more about our live trading room, again, you can get in contact via the application form or simply contact us. You can call us on our Asia, for those in Asia, on 852-8191-0403. Or you can contact us on our UK number 0207 193 0403, or simply email us at office@thegoldandsilverclub.com. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, thank guys. Yep, no problem at all. You're welcome. And yeah, look forward to see you. We'll be back here again at the same time next Friday, guys, 11 o'clock. So good luck with the rest of the day's trading. Good luck with the rest of the week's trading. Any questions, as I said, fire them across. And we look forward to speak to you on the next one. Okay, take care, guys. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.